elevated when that blast took place. Anyway, today is the day of my second vaccination shot, so I'm going to be going in just a little bit. Did want to say good morning to everybody. Not a lot going on in my boating life except now cleaning the side of my hull. Carlos, thank you very much for the net. This is WV6JSG.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
All right. Well, take it easy after your second shot today, and thanks for teaching us all about seal spraying this morning. And hopefully that just washes right off. That's all I have so far. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Hopefully you'll come back to the Southern California Boaters Net to check in. Please come now with your call sign. This is WA7ER. ARY. KC6ARY. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Carlos and the net. And after the expiration of the gale warning at 3 a.m. this morning, it's breezy but bad here in Malibu. There are no vessels at Paradise Cove this morning, either on moor or at anchor between Point Doom and Little Doom. So maybe the wind event cleared them out. Nice, bright, sunny day here in Malibu. If I may reset. Well, I've got maybe 4 yacht clubs still on the net. I wonder if I could restate that I am looking for a complete example of a boat anchor, as it were, marine VHF radio. The make is Sailor. It's a Denmark company out of Aalborg. And the model that I'm looking for is RT144 in complete but restorable condition. And that's all the traffic I have for the net. Good to hear everyone. As always, back to you, Carlos, KC6ARY.
I forgot about your announcement a while ago about you're looking for that. I think it's 1970s. You mentioned marine VHF radio. We'll have to keep our eyes out, maybe on yachtworld.com or Craigslist, various for sale sites for boats of that vintage, and reach out to them, see what they have on board. But you'll have to refresh our memory on why you're looking for that specific model and of that era. Back to you.
Well, in my limited experience, it's a rather unique design. It has about an 8 or 9 inch round bezel with the channels depicted around it from like 1 to 80 maybe. Like a 24-hour clock, but all the way around on the edge. And when you tune the channel, it puts the channel under the cursor there as it rotates around, clock style. There, it's just a real handsome radio. It's got a couple of handles on the front, like you might see on a piece of rack equipment. It's about 12 inches to 11 inches tall and about 16 wide, and just a real unique design.
Sounds like a really interesting radio. And have you operated one before, Kim?
I have not. I've only used a couple of VHF have been in boats I've been a guest on, and none of them were that style. This looked like something like, I think they used to have a bunch of them on trawlers and things like that. This is more of a commercial rather than a yacht type of design, I think. KC6 Airline.
Well, that's good to know, and hopeful for what to target. Keep our eyes open for the RT Romeo Tango, I heard, 144 Marine VHF radio. I'm sure turning that dial gives a satisfying click or something as you rotate through the channels, the Marine VHF channels there. Well, thanks for the check-in, Kim. Thanks for reminding us of the RT-144 Marine VHF radio that you're looking for there, and we'll keep our eyes out for you. Anybody else who'd like to check in the Southern California Boaters Net, we hope you'll come down with your call sign. This is WA7ER.
K7 CFO.
Good morning, Nick. K7 CFO, WA7ER.
Good morning, Carlos, and everybody on the net. I took my boat out this week, and nothing new to report. Everything's running, and it loves being started on a regular basis, so that's been helpful. I've also been playing around with YouTube and live streaming the Marine Net a little bit. So if you go to YouTube and you type in my call sign, Kilo 7 Charlie Foxtrot Oscar K7 CFO, you'll see a little live stream, and working on it. I had to kind of tune in the audio. Let me come up for air. But eventually would like to, increase the reach of the net through YouTube. So that's it. Everybody have a great Valentine's Day. Back to net control. Thank you, Carlos, K7 CFO.
Well, Nick, thanks for your application of your technological wizardry and exposing the Papa system and the Boaters Net to cool stuff like YouTube streaming, which I've never done before. And you're reporting that the boat loves to be started up and used regularly. Reminded me of for sailboats and the kind of relatively small diesel engines you usually find on them. We're supposed to run them at a higher RPM, some small percentage of the time to make sure the exhaust system and stuff is keeping cleared out. Is it the same for your bigger engines on your power boats, Nick? Back to you.
I'm not a mechanic, so I can't really say, but everybody I've talked to always says, yes, definitely run it hard, wide open throttle, burn off the carbon. One thing I pay attention to is the turbo, especially on the diesels. When I'm coming in for a cool off, I never chop the throttle. I always monitor the boost on the turbo to make sure that there's oil and that the fan is constantly spinning while the turbo is cooling down. So I kind of view it as like a piece of metal. You got to heat it up real slow and you got to cool it down real slow. And ever since I've babied my turbo, I've never had to replace it. But when I first got the boat and I was a little harder on it or whatever, I had to replace the turbo a couple times. So I baby it and definitely keep oil and parts moving, and they seem to last longer. Back to you.
All right. Well, thanks. A lot of folks have their exhaust systems redone because they forget they have to actually run it hard, especially on sailboats. We start it up and just long enough to raise the sails. And in Southern California, we usually have such a great breeze that we don't run our engines long enough. So thanks for the reminder, Nick. Greatly appreciated. Well, we'll make it a last call here to check into the Southern California Boaters Net. Hopefully, if you've been listening here this morning, you'll decide to check in here. We'd love to hear from you. Last call to check into the Southern California Voters Net. Please come now with your call sign. This is WA7ER. Hearing no further check-ins, we'll close the net. The Southern California Voters Net would like to thank everyone who's checked in this morning for participating, and we'd like to thank the PAPA system and its devoted volunteers for hosting the net. Visitors are encouraged to visit www.papasys.com for more information on PAPA system membership. This is WA7ER, Carlos, and it has been my pleasure to be your net control this morning. The net is now closed, and repeaters are returned to regular amateur use. 73, this is WA7ER.